Good morning, everyone. Good morning, guys. Welcome to another pre-market session. Today we had good morning. Good morning, guys. And we have a lot of crazy events happening for the day. We had actually a bunch of earnings last week, and we are going to talk about the oil, talk about the S&P 500, the earning plays, and also a couple of names that we're gonna have on watch for the day. The market had a lot of volatility because of all of these earnings, and we have lots of opportunities in the market. S&P 500 is up around 37 points, and Nasdaq around 180. On the crude oil side, we have a risk-on situation because of the whole again conflict in the Middle East. The oil price pushed back up higher again. We are seeing some sort of a retest so far in the last few hours on crude oil, but it's technically retesting this previous zone that we did have right now, and it seems like just a pullback. We'll see if this level holds and bounce back up or not, because if it does, we're going to see some level of volatility and possible weakness in the overall market, in the equities market. But if we actually do push lower, possibly we can see some sort of strength in the equity market as well. Q1 GDP at 2%, slightly under that 2.1%, which was the consensus, and GDP deflator is around 3.6%. So inflation pressure is still there technically. The PCE also came out, and it's at 0.7% hotter than expected, and the core PCE is basically not accelerating. It's still in range. Overall consumer sentiment and personal income report came out, and consumer is still looking strong. And we had initial jobless claims, and labor is still holding tight pretty well and not showing any stress. On the FOMC side, yesterday we had FOMC announcement, and nothing changed basically on the rate decisions. And the market is pricing rate cuts to be basically later than expected, and because of inflation and wages aren't cooling fast enough as well. So with all of these economic reports and data, we had earnings as well. Earnings of Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and a bunch of other companies. The major ones would be these four of the whole Magnificent Sevens. With that being said, let's check out a couple of these charts here. All right, we'll go over the overall market, and I will go over Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft's earning and their price action one by one. So starting from crude oil, as I explained, we pushed all the way higher to 110.11, and we're retesting right around this 104, 105 area on crude oil. Now, this might hold and bounce back up, and that will heavily affect the equities market probably, and will create some stress. If we actually push lower and probably get below this 103.4, we might see the strength on the equities market as well. So this is going to be a big one, because right now seems like there are some talks about possible continuation of the war, or like whatever happens, we'll see its effect on oil first and then the overall market. Talking about the overall market, let's analyze SPY, S&P 500. So we had this gap up on S&P after yesterday's earning and FOMC and everything that happened, which was basically a ton of data. But technically we are pushing all the way higher and hitting this previous all-time high of like around 715, 16-ish zone. It's a little bit higher than the closing date, so around this 715 till 16, because we had the after our pre-market price action as well. But technically this is the zone, this is the whole resistance zone, or basically the all-time high area that we are trying to retest on SPY. We did retest and push back down so far, still holding right around there. So keep that in mind. We gapped up, we pushed back up higher on SPY, but we're right below this all-time high resistance. So if we push back up higher, a lot of names will probably move with the whole overall market. So that would be our major resistance zone on SPY. On the demand side, we have this whole 712 level, which we held here, rejected, right? That could be an opportunity for a possible demand hold. And if that doesn't hold, the next level would be around this 708. All right. So these would be the key zones on SPY. If it just starts consolidating or holding in this range, just be careful around that. Be prepared for a rejection or a break. We're not here to predict. The whole goal is to just plan for all the scenarios that might happen. Qs, obviously a stronger move on Qs here, and we are seeing Qs is technically, if I just add the close of all-time high, you will see that Qs is technically at right at this resistance zone, which is the all-time high resistance, right? So all the way around this 665 till 667 ish would be the resistance that Qs is trying to break right now. That would be the key resistance area. The demand that I would be watching would be right around this 654, 55, which is actually a 90 MA on daily chart as well. Qs is looking a lot more stronger than SPY so far, but we'll wait for the market to open and then analyze the price action. On the smaller time frame also, we can see the strength. We can see we actually are holding above the previous at least high of Qs. All-time high technically is around this 664.5, 665, and the rest is basically the price action that we experienced in the after hour and pre-market. So we are still holding really tight and strong all the way up at all-time highs. So that's all about Qs. Dow actually pushed back up higher really strong, and it's almost rejecting these, if you can see this price action, we're seeing it's technically rejecting right 492.3-ish level. So if you break out of this area, this bull flag will technically get broken, and that would be a possible interesting setup on Dow if you want to trade Dow. SMH, semiconductors are just like wild, and again we are seeing relative strength on SMH here as well. We had this kind of pullback, we broke out of it, retested this zone, and now we are pushing all the way back up higher. So this 507 would be the key resistance zone. We break that, the all-time high is at 515. With that being said, actually USO is pretty interesting. United States Oil Fund, it hit 150 level, which is crazy, and now we are retesting this 144, which is the previous high that we experienced a couple of weeks ago. and the same kind of retest that we saw on WTI as well, right? Or crude oil. We had a breakout and a retest. Now we'll see if this level will hold here or not. If it does hold, then things can get a little bit shaky on the whole overall market. If it breaks and push back lower, then that would possibly mean the market will remain strong. Talking about a couple of individual stocks, Apple still holding in this range, nothing really crazy. I want to see it above this 278, 280-ish level, or maybe below this one, 265. Tesla, nothing really there. I don't like trading it. Definitely, I will not trade Tesla until I get out of this 385 or below this 364, or at least hit this zone and bounce for a reversal, or hit this resistance and reject for a reversal. NVIDIA looking super strong here. All-time high is at previous all-time high was around this 212. We broke, kind of consolidating right at this range, even though we're still holding below this 212. I still like how NVIDIA is holding this 207 demand zone. So that's pretty strong. That's pretty I mean, correlating with the whole other semi names. And if we actually do break out of this I would say triangle, or like this 212 resistance area, we possibly have a good chance of retesting 214 to 215 and then all-time high, right? So definitely an interesting name on watch for today. We'll definitely keep an eye on NVIDIA. The demand would be around this 207. Google up 7-8%, and yeah, the cloud revenue is up 64% year over year, and it's just like killing it. And we had this massive gap up on Google. We actually had a rally yesterday and that fade back down, but finally earning came out. Google went from this 350, now trading at 375. So super strong earning, and definitely on watch for pretty much anything. Obviously the basically earning per share and revenue beat and everything was crazy, and catalyst is positive, but I'll definitely be ready for any kind of possibility, either a push higher to a pre-market high level of this 378.9 and breaking it, or a possible pullback down and a possible gap fill setup. So both on watch. Definitely a lot of volatility and a lot of traders are watching it. So be careful the first few minutes when if you wanna just go for very quick scalps. So Google highly on watch above or around this 379, 380 level. Around this 364, 365 also on watch for a possible retest and bounce, or a break of this level and filling the gap. All right, next, AMD, beautiful setup, amazing setup. AMD at all-time high. Obviously this last month was like insane on AMD, and we are seeing a beautiful breakout of 310 zone, a retest of the level, and bounce back up very clean. So definitely I will be watching AMD for a possible, and again, like this is all-time high, I know, but then we have this whole demand as well. So I will just keep it like this for you guys to kind of have a clear understanding of this whole zone of 352, 353 would be the resistance that I would be watching. On the other hand, we have this 328, 329 demand zone as well, which we held 2 days ago, and as we're struggling 3 days ago, and we were struggling to break out 2 days ago, and now yesterday we broke out, retested, and bounced back up. So very strong demand zone here as well. It's trading in this middle. If the semiconductor remain strong and push all the way higher, definitely I will be watching AMD as well. Now it has earning in a few days, like next Tuesday, so be careful about that as well in your whole calculation, especially if you want to trade options or if you want to, I don't know, swing it. Be careful because it has earning. Next, Meta got destroyed. So this should be red. This whole box should be basically red right now because we are way below this zone. So yeah, Meta down around 9%, 10%. The problem was it was in line with guidance, but raised capex basically resulted in this massive pushback down. Market hates spending, and as a result of that, we are seeing this insane drop. Finally, we rejected this 200 SMA and pushed back down. You remember I was talking about this 200 SMA on Meta for so long, for a couple of weeks, days, and finally we broke below this zone and rejected this in the post earning play, and then now what we're seeing is basically a hold right around this 618.19 and 605. So the key areas I would be watching would be this level of 618.19 level, and then there is a demand right here at this 605 and 600 level on Meta as well. Okay, so it's a little bit kind of tricky right now, but keep these two levels on watch for Meta for a possible continuation if it actually does gap down and continue going lower. We had this massive gap, so we might fill the gap and push back all the way higher, especially if we get above this 639, 640. That could give us a relatively possible good opportunity for massive push all the way higher. But if we do reject and push back lower, definitely below this 604, 600 level would be interesting to watch. It might not happen today or tomorrow, but ultimately it will happen, and this gap play will give us some good opportunities. So yeah, keep Meta on watch as well. Microsoft, it's pretty much flat, still holding this 200 SMA, and yeah, it beat at earning and revenue, but yeah, the problem is probably the expectations and positioning on Microsoft. What happened on the price action side is pretty much technically nothing. We are just holding right where we were, and the whole 411, 412 again on watch. The resistance of 430, 32.3 would be on watch as well. Okay, PLTR had a beautiful trade yesterday on PLTR on this drop, which ended up being an interesting trade. It has earning next month, no, in a few weeks, I guess, right? May 4th, right? May 4th. So next week, exactly, right? Am I right? Yes, exactly, next week. So it in 2 trading days technically. So we are going to be careful a little bit about PLTR here because its earning is just like in 2 days. So but overall above this 140 or like around this 140 level of resistance and around this 135 level of demand on watch. MU, this is an MU is like wild, right? It's a lot wilder than AMD or like Nvidia, in my opinion, and it just holds the levels really well. Like, look at the price action on 4-hour chart. It's just like making higher lows non-stop with minimum consolidation and chop. So actually yesterday it was choppy a little bit, but today we are seeing this break of all-time high, at least it's trying in the pre-market right now. So 531.32 on watch on MU. The demand zone would be right around this 505.6 level ish on MU right now. Okay, so yeah, definitely I will be watching MU with AMD and Google as well. Amazon up to 3%. Beat earning and revenue. Q2 revenue guided above the consensus, and as a result we are seeing this beautiful move and price action at, as you can see, all-time highs on Amazon. So what we are seeing here is a beautiful break out of this previous all-time high of 266. We broke out, retested this zone, and we are bouncing back up right here. So very, very, very interesting setup. I would definitely be watching Amazon. Ideally, if we do retest here and hit this 266 and hold and bounce back up higher, that would be ideal. But again, you don't know what will happen. So keep the whole 277 and this 266.65 level on watch on Amazon as well. Okay. All right. Yep. That would probably be all the names that I would be watching. The biggest and the most important names that I would be watching would be probably Amazon, AMD, Google, and MU for the day. And we have a lot of names that are setting up, but these would be my top watches for the day. Okay. With that being said, I will be going ahead and trade with MTC team in our community. We're going to trade live all together. Thanks for watching as always, and I will be see you guys in the next live stream. If you want to join us and trade live with us, you can go to the description below or check out metatradingclub.com. Thank you. See you in the next one.